Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Nittai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. जय श्री श्री राधादास बिहारी विता विशाखा सखी की, श्री श्री गौ नेताय की, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, नेताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साधुवैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much for coming. Now we'll be starting today second chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto. The main subject matter of the first two chapters of the second canto, the four main topics. One is the attached yogis, they meditate on the universal form, and detached yogis, they meditate on the super soul. These are two things. And what is the universal form that we discussed in the first chapter? Now, how do the unattached, detached yogis, they meditate on the super soul, how they get liberated, and how those yogis who meditate on Virat Rup, they get liberated. So these three topics are discussed in second chapter. How the super soul meditators, yogis, they meditate on the super soul, how they are liberated, and how those who meditate on the Virat Rup, they get liberated. Okay? So those who meditate on the Virat Rup, their liberation is called Krama Mukti, like we just discussed yesterday. Okay? So, second verse, second chapter, first verse. Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam Puradharanayatmayone Nashtam Smritim Pratyavirodhya Tushtat Tatha Sasre Jadam Amogha Drishti Yatha Apayayat Paragvaya Saya Buddhi. Yes, translation please.
Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, formerly, prior to the manifestation of the cosmos, Lord Brahma, by meditating on the Virat Rupa, regained his lost consciousness by appeasing the Lord. Thus, he was able to rebuild the creation as it was before.
Now, someone may say, this Virat Rup is a material form. It is not coming from the Swarup Shakti of the Lord. It is material form. And it is imaginary form. If I meditate on something, material form and imaginary form, will it be effective? We may have doubts. So Shukadeva Goswami, right from the beginning, is clarifying this doubt. No. In the past, Pura, in the history, it has happened that Atma Yoni, the Atma Yoni is Brahmaji. Brahmaji Dharanaya, he meditated upon what this Virat Rup. When he meditated, Nashtam Smriti, when he lost his remembrance how to do creation, And then what happened? Prati Avaruddha Tushtat. He regained his consciousness, and by meditating on the Virat form, he satisfies the Lord. Tatha Sasrijidam Amogha Drishti. Then he attained clear vision and did the creation. Okay? With Vyavasaya Buddhi. Okay? So, if a yogi is meditating on something form which is material, which is imaginary, still it is effective because it is related with the Lord. And the example is being given of Brahmaji. Brahmaji is a very famous personality. So, it is being said, no, this meditation is not useless. It bears results. Although Brahmaji by meditating didn't get liberation, but he got his consciousness back and he was able to satisfy the Lord. And with single pointed intelligence, he could do the creation again. Now, it's not that every day when Brahmaji gets up, he is confused. It's not that. Some days, he loses his consciousness how to do creation. In the Bhagavatam, there are three such instances where Brahmaji was confused when he got up in the morning, what to do. First, it comes in the third canto. Third canto is there when Brahmaji goes up and down this the stem of the lotus, and then he hears a sound, tapa, tap. That is the one instance. The second instance will come in the fourth chapter of the second canto, when again Brahmaji is confused, and the Divya Saraswati enters his mouth and he regains his consciousness, and then he does the creation. And this is one more incident being mentioned here. Okay. So we should not feel that every day when Brahmaji gets up in the morning, he is always confused. No. Sometimes, on some days it's there. And it's not that Brahmaji is always sitting on the lotus flower. It's this present is Padma Kalp. This day of Brahma, he is sitting on the lotus flower. Not be that's why it's named Padma Kalp, because on this day he is sitting on the lotus flower. On other days there may be some other arrangement. Okay. So this meditation on the Virat Roop is effective. Okay. It made Brahmaji, it helped Brahmaji to regain consciousness. It helped Brahmaji to satisfy the Lord, and with single pointed intelligence could do the creation again. Right? So Prabhupada is writing, the example cited herein of Sri Brahmaji is one of forgetfulness. Yes. So Brahmaji is the incarnation of one of the mundane attributes of the Lord. Being the incarnation of the passion of mode of material nature, he is empowered by the Lord to generate the beautiful material manifestation. Yet due to his being one of the numerous living entities, he is apt to forget the art of his creative energy. This forgetfulness of the living entity, living being, beginning from Brahma down to the lowest insignificant ant, is a tendency which can be counteracted by the meditation on the Virat Roop of the Lord. This forgetfulness. What forgetfulness? How to create? For the living entity, what is it? Forgetfulness? Constitutional position, or we forget Isha Vase Idam Sarvam. Like yesterday evening we were discussing. So when we meditate on the Virat Roop, we are reminded everything belongs to the Lord. Okay? It's not that, we are devotees, so for us this meditation on Virat Roop is totally useless. No. We also, we cannot claim, if you don't mind, we cannot claim ourselves to be completely pure in consciousness. It's not that whatever thing we are seeing, we see in relation with the Lord. Ishavasedam Sarvam. So any living entity who is forgetful of this principle, the meditation of the Virat Roop will be helpful. Okay? So we can be reminded that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. It's not for my exploitation, not for my enjoyment. Right? So that way, Brahmaji, after he regained this consciousness, Prabhupada is writing in between, as soon as this forgetfulness is removed, the Sai Buddhi, as mentioned here and in Bhagavad Gita 241, follows at once. As long as we are forgetful of the Lord, our intelligence is multi-branched. But when we start seeing everything in relation with the Lord, we become single-pointed intelligence. Okay. And the last Prabhupada is writing, liberation means getting out of the slumber of forgetfulness. This is liberation. Okay. And becoming situated in the real loving service of the Lord as exemplified in the case of Brahma. The service of Brahma is a sample of service in liberation, distinguished from the so-called altruistic services full of mistakes and forgetfulness. Liberation is never inaction, but service without human mistakes. Okay. This is how this Virat Roop meditation is helpful. Okay. Shabdasya Brahman Esha Pantha Yatnam Abhidhyayati Dhira Parthai Paribhramam Statra Navindatirthan Maya Mayevasanaya Shayana. Yes, please.
The way of presentation of the Vedic sounds is so bewildering that it directs the intelligence of the people to meaningless things like the heavenly kingdoms. The conditioned souls hover in dreams of such heavenly illusory pleasures, but actually they do not relish any tangible happiness in such places.
Now Shukdev Goswami is speaking with Parikshit Maharaj, and he is describing the liberation of the Ashtanga yogis. Then in between he touches upon the Karma Kandis, because in that assembly there were many sages who were recommending that the sadhya, the purpose of life, is go to the heavenly planets. And sadhana is karma kand. So just on the way, he wants to settle them also. He says, Shabdasya hi Brahman esha pantha. Shabdasya means the Vedic sound, okay, which encourages a living entity to go for karmakandi sacrifices and go to the higher planets. He says, Shadasya Brahman esha pantha aparthai. It is meaningless, okay, because the conditioned souls hovers in dream. It's like a dream-like situation, but they do not relish any tangible happiness in such places. Maya maye vasnaya shayana. Like in the dreams, we are imagining something. The happiness of the higher planets is just like an imagination. It's like a dream. Okay, so it's not worth it. It's meaningless. It's useless. Okay, so Prabhupada is writing that you can read the first few lines. Purport.
The conditioned soul is always engaged in laying out plans for happiness within the material world, even up to the end of the universal limit. He is not even satisfied with available amenities on this planet Earth, where he has exploited the resources of nature to the best of his ability. He wants to go to the moon or the planet Venus to exploit resources there. But the Lord has warned us in Gita 8:16 about the worthlessness of all the innumerable planets of this universe, as well as those planets within other systems. There are innumerable universes and also innumerable planets in each of them, but none of them is immune to the chief miseries of material existence, namely the pangs of birth, the pangs of death, the pangs of old age, and the pangs of disease. The Lord says that even the topmost planet known as the Brahma Loka or Satya Loka, and what to speak of other planets like the heavenly planets, is not a happy land for residential purposes due to the presence of material pangs, as above mentioned. Conditioned souls are strictly under the laws of fruitive activities, and as such they sometimes go up to Brahma Loka and again come down to Patala Loka, as if they were unintelligent children on a merry-go-round. The real happiness is in the kingdom of God, where no one has to undergo the pangs of material existence. Therefore, the Vedic ways of fruitive activities for the living entities are misleading. One thinks of a superior way of life in this country or that, or on this planet or another, but nowhere in the material world can he fulfill his real desire of life, namely eternal life, full intelligence, and complete bliss. Indirectly, Srila Shukadeva Goswami affirms that Maharaj Parikshit in the last stage of life should not desire to transfer himself to the so-called heavenly planets, but should prepare himself for going back home, back to Godhead. None of the material planets nor the amenities available there for living conditions is everlasting. Therefore, one must have a factual reluctance to enjoy such temporary happiness as they afford.
So Prabhupada is using very wonderful language. One must have a factual reluctance to enjoy such temporary happiness as they afford. Factual reluctance. Okay. Okay. So Shukadeva Goswami is rejecting the Karmakandya thing. And in the other verses also we do that. Ata kavina masuyavatartha Syada apramatto vyavasaya buddhi
Syada pramatto vyavasaya buddhi
Siddhe anyatharthena yate tatra
Siddhyanyartharthena yadeda tatra
Parishramam tatra samikshamana.
Parikshramam tatra samiksham. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, question from the last purport verse. That how Shukadeva Goswami is telling that there is no happiness in heavenly pleasures and all that, they are not everlasting, don't go for it. So when we go to preach, Prabhuji, to modern youths, and especially nowadays youths are enjoying social media, free life and economy, so they have money also. So how do we preach? Because they feel it falls on the deaf ears that no, you will not be happy in this world. And we can give many examples also, practical examples and case studies of the worldly situation 100 years ago, 200 years ago and now. But still to convince them, for them to get it registered, it's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. So then the preaching depends on 6 exchanges and or gradually as he comes, takes association of devotees, gradually some souls may pick up or just wait for those people who already have done bhakti, and very quickly they will pick up natural taste in devotional activities, and they will very quickly accept everything and become serious. So how preaching will actually happen?
How preaching actually happens
Will happen now in this situation where,
now, because the material conditions have improved.
at least in this age group, and for the most part of boys whom we approach, in decent middle class category.
Yeah. What do you say? How many of you agree with him that presently the material conditions have improved? I think they are more suffering, they are more miserable. Mentally they are very, very disturbed. They are more disturbed.
But the pleasure of senses, Guruji, that is much more available
Yeah,
to them.
they have all the facilities, but they don't have peace of mind. They are so much distracted. More distraction, more they are not at peace. That's why the preaching is flourishing like anything, because they are not happy. Even though the social media is there, they have big bikes, good cars, gadgets, everything is there, but they are not satisfied. They are very much hollow inside. Initially, at least, they used to get some happiness from their families. They used to have some relationships in their families. Now it's not, even that relationship is not there. Everyone is having a relationship crisis. They are just hungry for love. Everywhere you go. Earlier, at least, they had some illusion. My mother loves me, my father loves me, my sister, brother. Now that illusion is also gone. They are just looking for love.
So how do we administer this love to them, Prabhuji? That is.
Yeah, we have to give them 6 loving exchanges, you said. So they are very much desperate. This is my opinion. You can say, what do you say, Sundar Chaitanya Prabhu? No, I mean, technologically they are advancing, but mentally they are going very down.
The whole crowd is almost becoming like hippies.
Yeah.
So what Prabhupada did, it's like just repeating the like that.
At least, yeah. At least mentality is of hippie. Yeah, you're right. Right, Prabhuji?
What we see, Prabhuji, is that in colleges where we are trying to serve, so students earlier they used to come for some programs, at least 4, 5, 6 programs, and then drop. Now first program, second program, after that they are bluntly not interested, and bluntly they want to go into sense gratification, and they have gadgets and free relationships.
So my idea is, if we keep on trying, very soon they will get frustrated from that side also. They are rejecting this, they will be rejected from there also. So we keep on trying. Because we see so much footfall has increased. So many youngsters are coming to the temple. Why? When they are so much absorbed in sense gratification, why they are coming to the temples? Footfall in the temple has really increased in all the temples. So that shows that they are not happy.
Thank you.
Okay. So, please, translation of this.
From this reason, the enlightenment person should endeavor only for the minimum necessities of life, while in the world of names. He should be intelligently fixed and never endeavor for unwanted things, being competent to perceive partially that all such endeavors are merely hard labor for nothing.
Practically,
sir.
Yeah. So he says, Ataha kavi namasu yavad artha. Those who are kavis, those who are enlightened persons, it is said, this world is a world of names only. Names are changing. Okay. That means the things are so transitory. Just they are in name only. Happiness is there in name only. Only in false promises, happiness is there. Like this plastic bottle is there. Now I am calling it as a bottle, plastic bottle. Maybe 1 week after, it will be called by something else. And 1 month before, it was called something else. Similarly, now this body is being called by some name. After few years, it will have some other name. So this material world is of names only. You do this, you will get happiness. So many advertisements are there in name only. So what I enlightened person do? Yavad artha. Minimum, whatever is required from this material world for maintaining our body and soul together, it takes only that much minimum things only. Okay? And Syad apramato, he remains very attentive and vivasaya buddhi on the goal of his life. Siddhe anyanarthe na yatet tatra. He doesn't do hard work for getting these things which are very temporary. Okay? So he is not distracted by this glamour of this material world. All this glamour is only in name only. We see all these PVRs, malls, happy faces on the advertisements. So a yogi, a sadhak should not get distracted. You know, college boys say they are moving around, other boys are moving around with their girlfriends, they are joking around, they are more happy than me. It's only in name. Nothing else. It's only in name, nothing. So we should be fully convinced and apramato. We should remain attentive on the goal of our life, vyavasaya, buddhi, and should not endeavor for these temporary things. You see what is said. Okay. So Vishwanath Thakur has given a nice commentary on this. Should I show? Okay. Till then we can read the purport.
The Bhagavad Dharma or the cult of Srimad Bhagavatam is perfectly distinct from the way of fruitive activities, which are considered by the devotees to be merely a waste of time.
Yes.
The whole universe, or for that matter, all material existence, is moving on as Jagat, simply for planning business, to make one's position very comfortable or secure. Although everyone sees that this existence is neither comfortable nor secure and can never become comfortable or secure at any stage of development. Those who are captivated by the illusory advancement of material civilization, following the way of phantasmagoria, are certainly madmen. The whole material creation is a jugglery of names only. In fact, it is nothing but a bewildering creation of matter like earth, water and fire. The buildings, furniture, cars, bungalows, mills, factories, industries, peace, war, or even the highest perfection of material science, namely atomic energy and electronics, are all simply bewildering names of material elements with the concomitant reaction of the three modes.
Yeah, so in this we take the varieties, so many varieties of cars, so many varieties of different branches of material science, only in names, nothing. Everything is this Panchabhut only, or you can say mitti. Everything is mitti only. And from this mitti, this earth is taking different forms, and we are getting bewildered. Okay, so a transcendentalist should remain fixed on this. So in between, Prabhupada is writing, human life is never meant for sense gratification, but for self-realization. Srimad Bhagavatam instructs us solely on this subject from the very beginning to the end. Human life is simply meant for self-realization. Next, further down the purport, around 10 lines from the bottom. The transcendentalist is specifically warned herewith to be fixed in mind, so that even if there is a difficulty in plain living and high thinking, he will not budge even an inch from his stark determination. So, Yavad Artha. From this world of names, we should only get as minimum things as possible. We should make our dependence on this material world as little as possible. Simple living, high thinking, and even if we are facing some difficulties, we should not budge from our stark determination. For a transcendentalist, it is a suicidal policy to be intimately in touch with the sense gratifiers of the world, because such a policy will frustrate the ultimate gain of life. Okay. Next, Prabhupada writes very interestingly, Shukdev Goswami met Parikshit Maharaj when the latter felt a necessity for such a meeting. It is the duty of a transcendentalist to help persons who desire real salvation and to support the cause of salvation. One might note that Shukdev Goswami never met Parikshit Maharaj while he was ruling as a great king. For a transcendentalist, the modes of activity is explained in the next shloka. Okay. So as a transcendentalist, as a sadhak, we should not be very eager to have company with rich people. You know, काम आएगा बाद में कभी, है ना. रखते हैं कभी ना, कुछ टिकट करानी है, कुछ है, थोड़ा बहुत काम आएगा, इसको रखते हैं अपने पास. No. That kind of mentality is being criticized. And Prabhupada is giving the example of Shukdev Goswami. He never met Parikshit Maharaj when he was ruling the kingdom. When was a real need, then Shukdev Goswami reached there. So a sadhu doesn't approach his householders for his fulfilling his other desires. He goes there only to give them Krishna. You know, yeah.
Keep organization. This point, how is that in case of organization? Because I come across some things where these kind of things, even though these kind of things happens that, see, we are engaging rich men to serve devotees in some way or other. Tomorrow or day after, they become devotees. We are increasing their sukruti. In that sense, tying up bond with the people, because they say there's an organization, this philosophy is right, but in the case of bigger organization like us, so this is necessary, and we are also increasing at the same time their sukruti if they serve devotees.
As an organization we may do. Raghunath Bhatt Goswami had Man Singh as his disciple, and he built so many temples. But for themselves, they never took anything. So for ISKCON, we may take. For Prabhupada, we may take them. We may engage them in the service. You know, we may cultivate them. We may give them an opportunity to serve, to contribute. But we should have no personal expectations from them. You know, because while dealing, we know we develop some personal connection, and we start having some personal expectations also. थोड़ा phone खराब हो गया मेरा. So we have to just drop some hints, and they are ready to oblige. नहीं अरे दीजिए आपको काम आएगा, सेवा में लगा, आपने तो सेवा में लगाना है. So we don't have that kind of expectations. You know, that's not good. Prabhupada writing. This kind of association is not good. We may cultivate them, and our objective is to give them, not to take from them. So it is not fundraising; it's friend raising. You know, we are giving them Krishna consciousness. If we just go to them to take money, no, we won't be satisfied. They won't be satisfied. We are going them to give them Krishna consciousness. And if willingly they contribute, they want to contribute, most welcome. And this will uplift them spiritually also. Our objective is to uplift their consciousness. And nothing for personal thing. And that much we should be very clear. That's what Prabhupada is explaining. Okay. Yavad Artha. We should keep our life as simple as possible. You know. Right. So even if we are facing difficulties personally, we should not budge from our determination. Vyavasaya buddhi. How it can affect our determination if we develop such kind of connection with rich people, if we have personal connection also. So how will it affect our determination in Krishna consciousness?
When situations are not anukul for our, then we may end up taking their help. Like our health is bad, or some need is there for preaching, and now temple is not supporting. So, and I feel I should do like this only. In this way only I should have done. So now the support is not there. I'm frustrated. So I end up there because I have connection now. So I can take Lakshmi from them or facilitate my preaching endeavors. I wish to go for preaching in flight, and now temple system is there. Only sleeper or third class AC is recommended for. So like that many things. Even for health also something. So support is there in temple, but some specific Lakshmi required for any bigger treatments, or it may not be urgency, but I feel it should be done in this way.
How will it harm my Krishna consciousness? Preaching is expanding. I am also expanding. So everyone is growing. So he is also getting an opportunity to do Vaishnav Seva. He is also expanding. We all are expanding. So why you are having such petty mentality?
So Prabhuji, what he's cultivating a disobedience in following authority. So this unknowingly, this cultivation has been done, that I maybe start with small thing. When by this connection we get some facilities. When we start with which not I am disobeying, but not giving to authorities. But gradually it will lead to big things also, Prabhuji. The cultivation of this disobedience or not overruling the authorities, Prabhuji. This is one thing, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Our dependence on Lord reduces,
Dependence on Lord,
and dependence on other
yes,
people,
yes.
it will increase.
That's an important point. Yes, Sundar Chaitanya Prabhuji.
Because for Brahmana, the austerity is his wealth.
Yeah.
So that is cracked. Then Bhagavatam says that the knowledge of the Vedas leak out like a cracked pot.
Wow,
So then one becomes bereft of the real wealth.
Very important point. Thank you for sharing this. Yeah. We are meant to practice austerity. So cracked pot is cracked, so all our spiritual piety will leak. Yes, very important. Thank you. So that's very important, because we are here in Mumbai and in Delhi. We get so many opportunities, so many things, and then it becomes not so bad. Chalta hai, kar lo, it happens like this. But gradually we are compromising on our consciousness. Right? Okay. So next two verses again, Prabhupada. Satyam kshito ki kashipo prayase bahu swasiddhe hipu upavarnaya kimma satyanjalo kim purudhana patraya digbal kaladau satikim dukule. Yes, translation please.
When there are ample earthly plates to lie on, then what is the necessity of cots and beds? When one can use his own arms, what is the necessity of a pillow? When one can use the palms of his hands, then what is the necessity of varieties of utensils? When there is ample covering or the skins of trees, then what is the necessity of clothing?
So this is the kind of simple living being expected from us. Yavad Artha. What do you mean? Parikshit Maharaj may ask, what do you mean by Yavad Artha? So this is meant by Yavad Artha. As less as possible. What is the need of the beds when you have the earth to lie on? What is the use of a pillow when you have the arms? What is the use of all different varieties of utensils? Normally earlier times in homes they used to have, they used to exhibit all the crockery, different crockery, small bowl, big bowl, this bowl, soup bowl, dal bowl, sabji bowl. They used to have different crockery set they used to give as a gift also. What is the use of all this? We have two palms only. So what is the use of that? So what is the use of wearing the clothes? Their directions are there, or at the most, skin of the trees are there. So simple. Life should be so simple. Like Khola Vichar Sridhar, he had only one pot. And Srila Prabhupada also had only one cooker. The same, in the cooker he used to cook dal also and rice also. So as less as possible, okay? So the necessities of life for the protection of the comfort of the body must not be unnecessarily increased. Human energy is spoiled in a vain search after illusory happiness. If one is able to lie down on the floor, then why should one endeavor to get a good bedstead or a soft cushion to lie on? If one can rest without any pillow and make use of soft arms indoors by nature, there is no necessity of searching after a pillow. Okay? Prabhupada says, if we make a study of the general life of the animals, we can see they have no intelligence for building big houses, furniture and other household paraphernalia, and yet they maintain a healthy life by lying down on the open land. You know? We don't see animals wearing spectacles. We don't see animals suffering from blood pressure, diabetes, heart attacks. No, they are very healthy. That does not mean that human civilization should revert to the animal life or that human beings should live naked in jungles without any culture, education and sense of morality. An intelligent human cannot live the life of an animal. Rather, the man should try to utilize his intelligence in arts and sciences, poetry and philosophy. In such a way, he can further the progressive march of human civilization. But here the idea given by Shukdev Goswami is that the reserve energy of human life, which is far superior to that of animals, should simply be utilized for self-realization. You know, that is the main thing. Okay? And Prabhupada is writing further down. Great sages and saints in the days of yore were not living in palatial buildings furnished with good furniture and so-called amenities of life. They used to live in huts and groves and sit on the flat ground, and yet they have left immense treasures of high knowledge with all perfection. And Prabhupada is giving the example of Rup and Sanatan Goswami. You know, they never used to live under one tree for long. One night under one tree, the next night under another tree. Okay. So Prabhupada is writing, so-called comforts of life are not actually helpful for progressive civilization. Rather, they are detrimental to such progressive life. See, the whole modern civilization, so-called civilization, is working in opposite direction. Advancement in civilization means advancement of facilities, and that means advancement in miseries. You know, everyone is competing hard. I want to be more miserable than you. I want to have more facilities than you. You know, more facilities means more miseries. It's a simple equation. Bhagavatam is saying, simple living, you will be very happy. And we can see, as the facilities are increasing, happiness index is going down. Still, normally people are not able to understand this, and we are running after facilities. In the last Prabhupada is writing, if one is not accustomed to abiding by the life of renunciation or self-abnegation from the beginning, one should try to get into the habit at a later stage of life, as recommended by Srila Shukdev Goswami. That will help one to achieve the desired success. Maybe we have come from such background that we were very much pampered and we had all the facilities in our homes. But once we have come over here, we should try to lead life of simplicity, with as less facilities as possible. No? In Brahmacharya ashram, sometimes also there is a competition. उसकी हार्ड डिस्क 1 GB की है, मुझे 2 GB की चाहिए ना. No, I need more data space. I need better iPhone. I need this. So we accumulate like this. You know, we also have a tendency to accumulate atyahar. So this is very, very, atyahar will destroy bhakti. So that's what being explained here. So we should live life as simple as possible. You know, what are the fields where there's scope that we can become more simple? In our Brahmacharya ashram, is there any scope for becoming more simple, or we are just, we cannot imitate that we won't need any pillow, we will not, next evening prasad will have in our hands only. We can't imitate that, but we can apply the principle. So what are the things we feel in our life which can be given away? And we can lead a simpler life and happier life. What can be done? Or no scope? Yes, sir. Huh?
Number of dhoti kurta pairs we have.
Yes. I'm reminded, yes, we have extra. Yeah. What else? Atyahar, eating habits. Yeah. What else can be there?
Be happy with Brahmachari Prasad.
Be happy with Brahmachari Prasad. Whatever is being given, we should be happy. Yeah, it's an important point. What else? Followers.
Number of followers, supporters we have. We may not be that much conscious because we see after a few years of preaching, whomever we bring, they become individually dependent on Krishna, grow in their spiritual life, take up different various services. Having initially when we are preaching, we no need to have that feeling, concern that he is my boy, kind of thing. So we may guide him initially, but toward the long run, we need to develop that detachment. That he will be grown up one day.
Yeah, very important point. Not making our juniors always dependent on us. Training them in such a manner that their dependence on Krishna increases, not on us. Yes, that's a good point. That will keep the life simple. Initially, these followers will give us a kick. Yes, they are following me. Then later on, these followers only, they kick you. They become the source of miseries, source of controversies, everything. Yes. What else? How we can simplify?
Personally, my lot of time goes, which I don't want, in using mobile phone, smartphones, social media. Although very less are there, not much use. Still, sufficiently I see my more time goes when I which I can save. So habituated to.
Yeah. Actually, in ISKCON, we have so much of glamour. Some of our brahmacharis said we are RBI, rich brahmacharis of ISKCON. We have all latest gadgets, everything there. We have to just desire and the things will appear. So now we are used in the name of Yukta Vairagya. So we are really enjoying sometimes. So that, that really brings down our determination in Krishna consciousness. We can see that. And that may be the reason we may not be able to call out the Lord cryingly in our chanting, because our dependence is not there. It really affects our consciousness. So we have to really, reduce all these things, amenities, facilities, as less as possible, so that our life remains simple and we remain Vyavasaya Buddhi, single pointed intelligence. It's a point to meditate upon, and we can individually see. Yes, Prabhuji.
Once I was hearing class of His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu. So he was saying that brahmacharis once in a week should open their locker and should remove all the belongings, whatever they have, and then again they should keep it. So automatically within a month, all the unwanted things will be go away.
Yes, very good point. Very important, very helpful point. Yes. We don't know. So many things are lying in our cupboard. When you open it, it's like a grasta. Now, in the Pandayog temple, we have to shift because it has to be renovated. So each brahmachari had so many almirahs full, It took so many rounds of, trucks, full load of trucks going and coming. We were surprised. All of us had so much of things, so many things. for the last 10 years, this gift, that gift, small things piled up. So it's a good point, very good point. And then we have so many books. What is the latest commentary, latest book? We just take the book and keep it on our shelf. That is also atyahar. So try to simplify as much as possible. Okay. Chirani kim pathina santi dishanti bhiksham nevangri ripa parabrata sarito pi ashuyan रुद्धा गुहा के मजितो वती अनोपसान कस्मात् भजन्ति कवयो धन दुर्मदान धान. Yes.
Are there no torn cloths lying on the common road? Do the trees which exist for maintaining others no longer give alms in charity? Do the rivers, being dried up, no longer supply water to the thirsty? Are the caves of mountains not now closed? Or above all, does the Almighty Lord not protect the fully surrendered souls? Why then do the learned sages go to flatter those who are intoxicated by hard-earned wealth?
Okay. Now someone may say, what is the need of the clothes? The barks of the trees are there. You may say it's good in the summer. In the summer also we take off our kurta. But in the winter, what will I do? Then he suggests, if you are feeling cold, there are torn clothes lying on the common road. Okay. So, but you see, I need some food to eat. Don't you know that the trees are there? Just pick up any fruit from the tree. And if the water, the rivers are there. And where should I live? Caves are there. But in the caves, the animals may come. Then he says very nicely, Kim Ajit Avati Nopasana. But the Ajit, the Lord has stopped protecting his devotees. The Lord will surely protect you if you even stay in caves. Then what is the need then of flattering the rich man? Why are you scared of staying in caves? Has Lord Krishna stopped protecting his devotees? No. Lord has said, Kaunte pati jana hi name bhakta pranashyati. So has he gone back on his words? Okay. So this is what he is saying. Very nice points. So Prabhupada is saying, the renounced order of life is never meant for begging or living at the cost of others as a parasite. Very strong word. Normally society thinks that these brahmacharis are parasites, but we should not become parasite. According to the dictionary, a parasite is a sycophant who lives at the cost of society without making any contribution to the society. The renounced order is meant for contributing something substantial to the society and not depending on the earnings of the householders. Okay. Further down the line, Prabhupada is writing what contribution that we should make. The first duty of a person in the renounced order of life is to contribute some literary work for the benefit of the human beings in order to give him realized directions towards self-realization. Amongst other duties in the renounced order of life of Srila Sanatan and Srila Rup and other Goswamis of Vrindavan, the foremost duty discharged by them was to hold learned discourses amongst themselves at Seva Kunj. Okay. So these are two things we should do. Contribute. We should write some books or at least have some learned discourses. Further Prabhupada is writing, however, those who cannot give any contribution should not go to the householders for food. For such mendicants, asking bread from the householders are an insult to the highest order. Shukdev Goswami gave this warning especially for those mendicants who adopt this line of profession to solve their economic problems. Such mendicants are in abundance in the age of Kali. When a man becomes a mendicant willfully or by circumstances, he must be of the firm faith and conviction that the Supreme Lord is the maintainer of living beings everywhere in the universe. So we should have this firm conviction. Rakshasiti Vishwaso Goptitve Varanam Tatha. If this conviction is lacking, there is no point in joining the ashram. And these two symptoms of surrender, Rakshasiti Vishwaso Goptitve Varnam Tatha. These are bestowed, they are like the gifts upon those sadhakas who follow the first two limbs of Shanagati. Anukulasya Sankalpa, Patikulasya Varjana. If we are strict in this, surely Rakshasiti Vishwaso Goptitve Varnam Tatha. If we are not strict in the first two, then we will always have doubts whether Krishna will protect me or maintain me. But if we are strict in the first two, we should be fully confident Krishna will never go back on his words. Rakshasiti Vishwaso Goptitve Varnam Tatha. Okay. So that much confidence we should have. Okay. Then Prabhupada is giving the example of Haridas Thakur when he was in the cave. A dangerous, poisonous snake was also there. The whole cave was full of poisonous smell, and in front of everyone, the super soul in the snake inspired him to leave the cave. So Prabhupada is writing again in the down. The path of renunciation is recommended for acceptance by one who is fully accomplished and fully purified in his existence. This stage is described also in Bhagavad Gita 16.5 as Devi Sampat. What is the first Devi Sampat? 16.5. What is the first quality? Abhayam, Sattva Sanshuddhi. So renunciant should be fearless. Thus Krishna will protect me. You can read from after this. Someone can read, please. A human being. Who has a mic?
A human being is required to accumulate Devi Sampad or spiritual assets. Otherwise, the next alternative, Asuri Sampad or material assets, will overcome him disproportionately, and thus one will be forced into the entanglement of different miseries of the material world. A sannyasi should always live alone without company, and he must be fearless. He should never be afraid of living alone, although he is never alone. The Lord is residing in everyone's heart, and unless one is purified by the prescribed process, one will feel that he is alone. But a man in the renounced order of life must be purified by the process. Thus he will feel the presence of the Lord everywhere and will have nothing to fear, such as being without any company. Everyone can become a fearless and honest person if his very existence is purified by discharging the prescribed duty for each and every order of life. One can become fixed in one's prescribed duty by faithful oral reception of Vedic instructions and assimilation of the essence of Vedic knowledge by devotional service of the Lord.
Very wonderful purport. So we all should be fearless. And how we can become fearless? One second. By discharging our prescribed duties as per our ashram. And how do you know what are our duties? By oral reception of Vedic scriptures. So we just strictly follow our duties. So we had nothing to fear. Krishna will surely protect us, and we'll never feel alone also. Sometimes in the brahmachari ashram we have this problem of feeling loneliness also. I feel lonely. Once Bhakti Dhir Damodar Swami Maharaj was saying, he went all around the world, he says, 80% of devotees in ISKCON feel lonely. It's a problem, I feel lonely. So here it is said, if we just discharge our duties nicely, so we'll always be feeling the presence of Krishna. So, food for thought. Okay. Evam svachitte swata eva siddha Atma priyartho bhagavan ananta tam nivrato niyatartho bhajeta sansara hetu pramascha yatra.
Thus, being fixed, one must render service unto the Super Soul, situated in one's own heart by his omnipotency. Because he is the Almighty Personality of Godhead, eternal and unlimited. He is the ultimate goal of life, and by worshipping him, one can end the cause of the conditioned state of existence.
So, above the qualifications, evam. Evam means thus. That means a person who can be so renounced. He is qualified to meditate on the super soul in the heart and get liberated. He is not dependent on this world. His life, he leads his life as simply as possible, yavada artha, and completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Then he is purified and he can meditate on the super soul in the heart. Okay. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti's commentary, you can read, please.
Is it necessary for the yogi to search out the ingredients for worshipping the Lord? This verse answers, it is already accomplished because Vasudeva, Atma, is already in his heart. It is not necessary to follow procedures like Avatana to call the Lord.
See, I mean, he has to worship the Lord, and it doesn't need any paraphernalia, because the Lord is within the heart, and he doesn't have to do ahvan, request the Lord to appear, no need. Okay, yes.
Priya, Ardha, Bhagavan and Ananta are modifiers of Atma, the Lord. The Lord is naturally the shelter of Prema. Thus, he is called Priya. Though he is the shelter of Prema, he has no unwanted accessories like sons. Since he is the supreme object, Ardha. Though he is the supreme object, he is not just in the heart. He is Bhagavan, observed with beauty and other qualities. He is not restricted in place at all. He is situated in all places, since he is all-pervading Ananta. There is no effort needed in worshipping the Lord. The devotee is absorbed completely in the bliss of his worship, Nivritta. He has Prema as the fixed goal of his bhakti, Niyatartha. Or Niyatartha can mean he has fixed the number of names he chants, how many stories he will hear, how many obeisances he will offer, how much time he will meditate. By that worship, ignorance, the cause of samsara, should be destroyed as an unsought result for the devotee. For the jnanis and yogis, however, this is a sought result. The word cha is added to complete the meter.
Okay, so in this verse, all these words, modifier have there. Priya, Artho, Bhagavan, Ananta. These four things Vishwanath Thakur is clarifying. The Lord is the supreme object of love, and he is the supreme object. He is Bhagavan, he is everywhere. So, tam nivartho niyatartho. So, niyatartho bhajeta. And Vishwanath Thakur is saying, niyatartha means this is the fixed goal of bhakti. Niyatartha, or niyatartha means I have fixed how much rounds I will chant, how much I will hear, how many obeisances I will offer. By this, my ignorance will be reduced and can be liberated from this samsara. Okay, so these are the qualifications for a person, for a yogi who would like to meditate on the super soul. Right? Now, kastam tvadu anadritya paranuchinta rite pashuna satim nama kuryat pashyanjanam patitam vetarranyanam स्वकर्मजान प्रतिपान सकर्मजान प्रत्यापान जुषाणाम परितापान जुषाणाम. Yes, Pariya, please.
Who else but the gross materialist will neglect such transcendental thought and take to the non permanent names only, seeing the mass of people fallen in the river of suffering as the consequence of accruing the results of their own work?
So once again, Shukdev Goswami is finally rejecting the Karam Kant. So that Pashu, he is like a Pashu only, will neglect such lot and go for Karam Kant and go for attaining those things, temporary things. Okay, so he is rejecting the Karam Kant again. So Prabhupada, just first few lines of the purport.
In the Vedas, it is said that persons who are attached to the demigods to the exclusions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are like the animals who follow the herdsman even though they are taken to the slaughterhouse.
Okay.
The materialist, like animals, also do not know how they are being misdirected by neglecting the transcendental thought of the Supreme Person.
Yes, okay. So Prabhupada is again explaining that if we are not thinking of the Lord, we think of this material world, right? Okay. Now we'll start how a yogi starts meditating on the super soul. Okay. Kechit swadehantar hridayavakashe pradesh matram purusham vasantam chaturbhujam kunjarathanga shankha gadadharam dharanaya smaranti. Okay, so it was mentioned that in the 6th verse, Prema, Artha, Ananta, Bhagavana, those who are totally purified, the Lord appears in their heart. So whether the Lord really appears in our heart or it may be in hallucination, just to confirm, the super soul is being described. Okay, but please read the translation.
Others conceive of the personality of Godhead residing within the body in the region of the heart and measuring only 8 inches, with 4 hands carrying a lotus, a wheel of a chariot, a conch shell, a club respectively.
So those who are not leading a very simple life, completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord, such yogis completely purified in their heart, the super soul manifests. So who is that? How that super soul looks like? So it is being confirmed here. So, but such yogis are not, they are very, very rare. Kechit. Okay. So Vishwanath Thakur ji will explain. Please read this commentary of Vishwanath Thakur. Should I increase the font? Yeah.
Having shown bhakti and the presence and absence of bhakti, Sukhdev now speaks again about the process of dharana of the yogis on the form of the Paramatma, which is superior to the universal form previously described. Some Kechit refers to those who are superior to the yogis who meditate on the universal form, or to those who, by practicing meditation, the universal form which has been described have become purified and then meditate on the spiritual form of Paramatma. There are 4 types of yogis who practice dharana. The first type meditates on pran and the meaning without using the form of the Lord. This is not approved by the Bhagavatam. The second type becomes purified by meditating on the universal form just described and then meditates on the 4-armed form of Paramatma, Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, described in the 3rd canto, 3.8.23. He saw the one Lord sleeping on the broad bed of Sesha, white like a water lily, in the waters of devastations, whose darkness was dissipated by the light from the jewels on the top of the thousands of umbrella like hoods of Sesha. The third type, after meditating on the universal form, meditates on the Vyasti Virat, the Lord in the heart with four arms. The fourth type is pure in heart already. Some say that Kechit refers to those who, from the beginning, being pure in heart, meditate on the Vyasti Virat in the heart. Pradesha Matram means the heart has a dimension of one Pradesha. One meditate on the form who assume that size in the heart of one Pradesha. Though he is that size, by his inconceivable energy, he has a form of a man 15 years old. For it is said, Shantam Vyasi Keshore. He is 15 years old. Srimad Bhagavatam 3:28-17. Vasantam means who has made his residence there as the Paramatma.
Okay, so very nice explanation. Kechit means one of those four type of yogis. What are the four type of yogis Vishwanath Thakur is saying? First is those who meditate on the mind and the soul. So that they are not mentioned in Bhagavatam. The second is those who are not pure, so they first meditate on the universal form. After meditating on the universal form, they get purified and they meditate on the Garbhodakshai Vishnu. That is the Smashti Virat. Garbhodakshai Vishnu is the Paramatma of the whole universe. That is the second type. Third type is after getting purified by meditating on the Virat Roop, they meditate on the Vyashti Virat, the super soul within the heart, Kshirodakshai Vishnu. And the fourth is the state where they are so purified, the state where they start meditating on the Kshirodakshai Vishnu in their heart. So that is meant by Kechit. And Pradesh means around 8 inches. Prabhupada is explaining from the tip of the index finger to the thumb, this much size. Pradesh Matra. And then it is said he is 15-year-old. The Paramatma. Vishwanath Thakur is giving the age also. He is 15-year-old. And the next verse has been given. Okay. 9th verse. So this is a description of the super soul within the heart. Prasanna Vaktram Nanitaya Ekshanam Kadam Akinjal Kapishanga Vasnam Lasan Maharatna Hiranmaya Angadam Sfuran Maharatna Kirita Kundalam. Yes.
Translation. His mouth expresses his happiness, his eyes spread like the petals of the lotus, and his garments, yellowish like a saffron of a kadamba flower, are bedecked with the valuable jewels. His ornaments are all made of gold, set with the jewels, and he wears a glowing head dress and earrings.
So everything is described. Anindra hit pankaja karnikalya Yogeshwara pitapad pallavam Shri Lakshanam kostu bratna kandharam Amlan lakshme vanamalaya chitam. Yes.
His lotus feet are placed over the whorls of lotus-like heart of great mystics. On his chest is the Kaustubh jewel, engraved with a beautiful calf, and there are other jewels on his shoulders. His complete torso is garlanded with fresh flowers.
Yes, Amalan, quite fresh, the flowers which never withers, just beyond comprehension. Within our heart is a Paramatma with so much of ornaments, fresh flower. Wow, wonderful. Okay. Yeah. So 11. Vibhushitam me khalaya anguliyekir महाधनय नुपुर कंकनादिभि स्निग्धामलाकांचुत नीलकुंतलेर विरोचमानानहासपेशलम्. Yes, Prabhuji.
He is well decorated with an ornament wreath about his waist and rings studded with valuable jewels on his fingers, his leglets, his bangles, his oiled hair curling with a bluish tint, and his beautiful smiling face are all very pleasing.
Yeah. Okay. Purport.
Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the most beautiful person amongst the all other, and Srila Sukdev Goswami describes every part of his transcendental beauty one after another, in order to teach the impersonalist that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not an imagination by the devotee for the facility of worship, but is the Supreme Person in fact and figure. The impersonal feature of the Absolute Truth is his radiation, as the sun rays are but radiation from the sun.
Yeah. Okay. So this was the description of the super soul within the heart, and now how yogi meditates and what results he gets, that is described in the next verses. So we'll have a break now. Okay, Gayatri break. Yeah, question? Yeah, yes, right. Cow is on his chest, on the super soul's chest. Yes. Good. Okay. Thank you.